All right, so hello, good night, or good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. I got a lot to do, so I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm just gonna get right into the content. Shout out to Splash Digit, yeah. There you go. Let them know. Hit that like button. Get this video up to 1,000 likes. All right, get the video up to 1,000 likes, and share the live. Share the video with at least 20 people. That's how you help the platform to grow. And if you want to donate, then there's a separate option. The donation link is always pinned at the top of the comment section. All right. So let me just get this out of the way. Just get that out of the way. There you go. All right, so I got the pin, I got the donation. Did I pin it? No, I did not. There it is. Now we can step into the countdown, baby. Let's get it. I don't know who is up this time of the morning, but I gotta put in this work right now. All right, let's go. Yeah, I gotta put in this work right now. Got to put in this work right now. Are we good? Yeah, we got it. I see a few people. Just literally a few that's up right now. All right. Hey, I'm not gonna wait. I'm going in. I'm doing some recordings, and I got a new I got a new system. The other system ain't flowing. I got a new internet system, so I want to know from you guys that's watching me live. Is everything clear? Is the sound clear? Is the internet clear? You know what I'm saying? Is there any hiccups? How is the visuals? How is the audio? I want your feedback. I want everything. All right. So far so good on my end. What I'm looking at in terms of kilobytes per second, that's amazing. If it stays at that level the whole time, we good money. Anyway, let's get this. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get it right here where we fit in. I would love for you guys to know that you're welcomed on the platform to share your views. Just do it respectfully in the comment section. We have a lot of things to address in this particular video because there's a lot going on in Jamaica. So let's get right into it.
JCF rank and file members up in arms over unpaid overtime. Sarah Chairman Defense Specialists. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pula and here are the details. Rank and file members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force are again up in arms due to the non-payment of overtime. They have complained that while payments have been made, it's not the full amount owed. Chairman of the Police Federation, Sergeant Arlene McBean, says since being made aware of the discrepancies, the Federation has been making representation.
To the workforce management team for them to try and fix and bring clarity to the persons who are so affected at the respective divisions. I am hoping that this will be resolved in short order.
She has again urged the members to recheck their submissions.
The divisional scheduler needs to communicate with the managers at WMS base because they need to see the timesheets and the actual hours work. And if it is that you were not paid for previous months, ask your scheduler to do a resubmission, right? Because you have worked the hours already and you must be paid.
I just have one thing to say about that. Is that why the police is dealing with the citizens of the country that way? Because y'all not paying them on time. Y'all not paying them their overtime. Y'all not giving them their full money. I'm just asking. But let's continue. Tell me what y'all think about that in the comment section. The police not getting paid, the teachers, They're supposed to get some increments. They didn't get that. Miss Favor Williams, what is going on? Well, let's continue.
The opposition People's National Party has condemned an incident involving Jamaica Constabulary Force officers and a 15-year-old boy. This after a viral video showing the teen being assaulted sparked national outrage. In a statement, the PNP says the incident is an abuse of authority. It also stressed that no law-abiding society should accept such conduct.
The violent assault of a 15-year-old child.
Not even gonna play that. I'm gonna move past that. Just remember that. Also gonna move past this because I want to focus on a specific thing. That was a terrible accident.
Neurosurgical drill. This following criticism from opposition spokesperson on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, who called the acquisition reckless and demanded Mr. Charles's resignation. On Wednesday, opposition spokesperson on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, raised concerns about a $31 million purchase of a neurosurgical drill by the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA. Dr. Dawes argued that the cost is double what it should be, calling the purchase careless and unnecessary.
While our hospitals crumble, this reckless spending exposes a broken system. I met with SARA's leadership, and their answers were alarming. Doctors were forced to choose between a $30 million drill or a $50 million drill. Neither a fair price. The procurement process failed them. No competitive bids, no transparency, no proof this was in Jamaica's best option. This is not just waste. It is either gross incompetence or highly technical corruption.
It's why he argues that the chairman of SARA, Wentworth Charles, should resign.
No, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to tell me in the comment section if you agree with Mr. Dawes that this man needs to resign after purchasing a neuro drill that could have been like $5 or $8 million for $31 million.
Meanwhile, SARA's chairman silences critics instead of fixing the crisis. Operating theaters are shuttered, ICU beds vanish, surgeries proceed at KPH despite mold risks. This is a betrayal of patients and staff. The chairman's culture of cover-ups must end. I call for Wentworth Charles' immediate resignation. Jamaica deserves leaders who prioritize health, not squander funds while our system collapses. Is this how they choose Jamaica? We will keep fighting for transparency.
In response, Mr. Charles explained that concerns about the drill were addressed in a meeting with Dr. Dawes on Wednesday. He said Dr. Dawes was shown all the relevant documents relating to the approval of the purchase and the confirmation from the Public Procurement Commission. Mr. Charles further explained that the drill was sourced from a reputable supplier, met international safety standards, and that a competitive bidding process was followed.
Right.
3 suppliers submitted proposals ranging from $12 million to over $50 million, covering the equipment and a 2-year maintenance service contract. Mr. Charles also highlighted that the drill, which is the first of its kind in Jamaica and the Caribbean, is critical for brain and spinal surgeries for children. He says the new equipment will significantly improve the capabilities of the Bustamante Hospital for Children, allowing the medical team to provide urgent care without waiting for overseas missions.
No, that sounds very good and everything in it, but it's the cost of the drill. That's the issue. Did you have to get a drill at that cost? You're telling me you couldn't get a better competitive price. And when you see a man like Mr. Alfred Dawes calling for someone's resignation, trust me, you know, he doesn't just go out the way without evidence. So he has seen the information, he understands what's happening.
What the new Cornwall will look like. It hopefully will restore some hope for those who felt hopeless in terms of will there ever be a day when we see the new Cornwall or the main building, because Cornwall as a hospital has been functioning and seeing patients, but that main building which had to be stripped down because of air quality and other issues. So it's symbolic and it's tangible.
Sections of the Taipei facility were closed in 2018 due to air quality issues and have since undergone major renovations to improve conditions.
See floor by floor opening up into patient wards with the expected completion of a full resumption on the main building for first quarter of the new year. So it's not very long from now, considering how long we have waited. The team is in full throttle. Work is taking place on a daily basis while services are being provided. And it's really an exciting time for me personally, and I can only imagine for the team on the ground who have had to really make the sacrifice to exist and coexist in an active construction site setting.
just said a whole bunch of nothing a while ago, you know. Coexist and exist in an active setting. Exciting time. Man.
Residents in Frankfield, Clarendon are demanding the replacement of 2 bridges in the area. This after recent rainfall left them marooned. More in this report.
It has been almost 8 years since the bridges in the communities of Southwood and Damid were washed away in a flood. This has resulted in residents and motorists having to journey through the Rio Minho in order to get in and out of their communities, a trek that has raised safety concerns.
But hold on, you know, the same place that where the legend almost lose him life with them kids them because I'm gonna swing from Patwood. My God.
Just a few years ago, a woman and child were swept away while attempting to cross the river. The crisis is exacerbated when it rains, but even dry weather poses a threat.
When the sun at the river come down, and when the river take in, if they have to stay in, if they have to stay out. It will be very difficult, Trey. Very difficult. We even have a church over there when the rain fall and the river get every church can't keep because the pastor can't come to church. And most of the members them there on the other side. It's rough. If you look at how soon when we do, out on the main, and when the rain gets heavy, we can't go work.
Last week Saturday, we did the road and the river come down and we forget about after 11 before we cross it. And it still did heavy in the time. So bridge is upward.
We put the issue to the National Works Agency, who told our news center that the Southwood Bridge will be replaced under the Accelerated Rural Bridge Development Program. This is a $100 million initiative between the government and the UK Export Finance, in which 55 bridges across the island will be repaired. Works Minister Robert Morgan is expected to provide an update on the program in Parliament next week. As for the bridge in Damid, the NWA advised that it's currently not on the list of structures to be replaced under the program. Carrie Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
Ryan Campbell, salute to you, man. Now, that is such an yo, that's crazy, you know. That whole situation is crazy. I don't think, I'm not going into that. No, I'm gonna share my screen. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna go into these important notices and things that needs to be addressed where our wonderful country is concerned. So follow me, ladies and gentlemen, follow me. Alright, here we go. Tap that like button. Thank you, appreciate it. There you go.
But the migration have not been addressed in any way. The desire, the demand has increased from the United States, from Canada, from England, but also now from Dubai, who is coming and recruiting teachers. Many other times we're unaware until the last moment that they're leaving. And so we believe that there must be a plan for teacher retention, that we need to fight for the efforts of our teachers. And when the JTA did their own research, it showed that the teachers' greatest desire was to come back and own a home and a vehicle. And so an effort must be made to make it comfortable in the classroom and in the staff room, but also for those basic things that they desire to be achieved. But the migration have not been addressed in any way. The desire, the demand has increased from...
So you hear Mr. Damon Crawford. We have a teacher retention problem. The teachers are not staying with us here in Jamaica. They much rather go overseas and work. And who would blame them, because it's a great opportunity. You understand? But the PNP has a plan for those gentlemen and ladies. You understand? And I'm excited personally for them to take power and roll out those plans. Let's hear what Mr. Hills has to say here.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I am calling on Prime Minister Andrew Holness to intervene in the ongoing sick-out by the maintenance workers in the engineering department at the National Water Commission. Vital role in ensuring that our water supply is safe and reliable. Chlorination is not optional. It is not an option. It is essential. Any disruption in this service compromises the safety of water reaching Jamaican household. I acknowledge the recent verbal comments made by the minister with responsibility for water, but insisted that the seriousness of the situation called for a more direct and a high-level response. This is not the time for platitudes. We need the Prime Minister to step in and take the matter seriously. The safety of the public water supply cannot be treated lightly. I also want to raise the concern about the fairness of the compensation review. If the government got it right for the members of parliament, I want to repeat, if the government got it right for the members of parliament, why couldn't they get it right for these frontline workers who are now so critical to the well-being of the Jamaican people, I ask. I am calling for urgent dialogue between the government and the affected workers. We cannot afford to have this kind of breakdown in the water sector when the NWC already is struggling to meet the needs of the public. The Prime Minister must intervene now for the safety of the Jamaican people and the integrity of our water system.
Right, so
Implement.
no, we have the people that work with the NWC on sick out, like everything is happening all at once. This was April 22nd, but I just knew about this. I didn't know that the NWC people, they had a sick out crowd. I hope that situation is fixed, honestly, but this situation is not fixed.
As the PNP's candidate for Southwest St. Anne, I am deeply concerned about the repeated removal and destruction of my campaign materials, particularly poster boards across the constituency. These actions are not just disrespectful, they undermine the very foundation of democratic participation and fair campaigning. The most recent incident took place on the night of or before an event hosted by my opponent, a carnival in Sendake on Easter Monday. Poster boards that were legally and properly erected were deliberately taken down under suspicious circumstances. Unfortunately, this is not the first time my campaign has experienced this kind of sabotage. It's an issue that I've raised with the Member of Parliament previously, and he assured me that this is not the kind of politics he supports. Yet, it's clear that this commitment to fair play is not being upheld by everyone involved in his campaign. I find it very disheartening and frankly disgraceful that my opponent, who is an attorney at law, would appear to benefit from or choose to ignore these underhanded tactics. This is not the kind of leadership that people deserve, and certainly not the kind of politics we should ever return to. My campaign continues to be rooted in integrity, respect, and a genuine desire to engage voters on the issues that matter in Southwest St. Anne. This is why I'm publicly calling for the reinstatement of the Office of the Political Ombudsman. It is an institution that once provided much-needed oversight and accountability in our political process. Its absence has created a dangerous space where political mischief can thrive without consequence. I remain committed to a clean, principled campaign, and I'm calling on every political actor, regardless of their party, to do the same. Our people deserve better. They deserve to hear from all voices without intimidation, interference, or destruction.
Right at PNP.
So, you see where political ombudsman is a sore point, but the Minister of Justice has decided that they will not remove that law or retract the law that they put out to remove the political ombudsman. But are we surprised?
PNP's MP caretaker.
We are not surprised, ladies and gentlemen. This is the DNA of the Jamaica Labour Party that's in power right now. They are an entity of skullduggery and corruption, and they don't like to play by the rules, only their rules. Mafia style, you know? Just continue.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Nikisha Birchall, the PNP's MP caretaker for South St. James. You see, once again we've heard the grand speeches, this time at the Montpelier Agricultural Show on Easter Monday, where the Minister of Agriculture, Floyd Green, announced that the government will spend $600 billion to revitalize the Montpelier Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive, but so did last year's promise to plant 3,000 acres of ackee, breadfruit, and mango in South St. James.
Embarrassing!
We need some milk! Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive, but so for South St. James. You see, once again we've heard the grand speeches, this time at the Montpelier Agricultural Show on Easter Monday, where the Minister of Agriculture, Floyd Green, announced that the government will spend $600 $600 billion to revitalize the Montpelier Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive, but so did last year's promise to plant 3,000 acres of ackee, breadfruit and mango in South St. James. And based on our checks, not one of those trees have been planted. Not one.
Ain't no way, bro. Nah.
What did you say? Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Nah. Come on, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What can go so?
But listen, big up the government, respect. But you see me, the truth is just the truth. I have to respect it. Our country now run right. Our country now run right. All who believe me, Bossa Blanc say blow!
PNP's MP caretaker for South St. James. You see, once again we've heard the grand speeches, this time at the Montpelier Agricultural Show on Easter Monday, where the Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green announced that the government will spend $600 billion to revitalize the Montpelier Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive, but so did last year's promise to plant 3,000 acres of ackee, breadfruit and mango in South St. James. And based on our checks, not one of those trees have been planted. Not one. Every year, we're used as props for press releases and pretty speeches. Tired promises, empty gestures. But let me be clear, South St. James deserves investment, not a minister's imagination. Agriculture is not just about a talking point for ministers to score points. It is the backbone of survival and opportunity in rural Jamaica. Our farmers break their backs every single day to feed the country, to sustain their communities, and to build a better future. But how can we grow when the government doesn't take our work seriously? The mood I saw at the agricultural show this year wasn't hope. When they listened to the minister, it was more a matter of frustration. People weren't moved, they were insulted, and our farmers know when they are being played for votes, and they're tired of it. Let's be honest, $600 billion with no timeline, no clear plan, and no community consultation, that's not a strategy, that's a stage line. It sounded like something the minister made up to impress a crowd, but we don't need theater. We need a serious, grounded plan for our agriculture. Meanwhile, the real needs are being ignored. Where is the irrigation support? Where is the land prep assistance? Where are the farm roads? Where are the processing facilities and the access to proper markets? We still have farmers in South St. James who lost everything during Hurricane Beryl, and to this day they haven't received so much as a bag of fertilizer to help them bounce back. That's not just a failure of policy, that's a failure of leadership.
Help, we hear the rhetoric.
We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights.
So I'm saying to Minister Floyd Green, get realistic, sir. Leave the office, come to South St. James, talk to the farmers, because who feels it knows it. We support the restoration of the Montpelier station, yes of course, but only if it's done right, with local input, with urgency, and with real measurable benefits for our farmers. Don't come with the headlines and the hollow words. Come with action, come with respect, come with a plan that shows you truly value our farmers, because it's time we get serious about agriculture, because agriculture won't grow on promises.
The website at pnp.org.
So, Ministry of Agriculture. Political ombudsman. Water Commission sick out education plans. I will not done it. One of the most important one this right here, so ladies and gentlemen.
Today, my heart is heavy, but my resolve is unwavering. The violent assault of a 15-year-old child by members of the Glengoff police is not just an isolated incident. It is a stark reminder of the urgent need for systemic change in how we protect our most vulnerable. To the family of this brave young student, we stand.
Tell about them. Something not right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right. Tell about them.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
15-year-old police abused a 15-year-old young man. Jamaica.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
Today, my heart is heavy, but my resolve is unwavering. The violent assault of a 15-year-old child by members of the Glengoff police is not just an isolated incident. It is a stark reminder of the urgent need for systemic change in how we protect our most vulnerable. To the family of this brave young student, we stand with you. To the Jamaican people outraged by this injustice, we hear you. The video of this child's suffering has shaken our nation, and it is unacceptable. Those sworn to serve and protect must never become agents of fear or harm. I join the call for Indicom to conduct an immediate, transparent investigation. Every officer involved must be held accountable. But accountability alone is not enough. The Jamaica Constabulary Force must act now to reform its culture. We need mandatory training in human rights, de-escalation, and sensitivity, especially towards our children. This moment demands more than anger, it demands action. Our security forces must reflect the values of the people they serve. Brutality cannot be met with silence. To our youth, you deserve safety, dignity, and respect.
Right at pnp.org.
Listen, that's one of the most important situations that happened to that 15-year-old young man. It's going down in Jamaica, that's all I know. It is going down. You hear me? But there's more. Back to health here. Christopher Tufton, come closer, sir. What's going on here? Oh.
I'm here at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. So I'm here at the Cornwall Regional Hospital for what was a major PR event put on by the Ministry and the Western Regional Health Authority. So they're having a ceremony right now for the opening of the administrative block, which is really the CEO's office and some support staff, procurement, accounting. And I think many people, when they saw the notice go out about the opening of Cornwall Regional Hospital, they might have thought that it was for patients and all of that, but no, it's really about a section of the hospital. And the minister today was at pains to say that there's misinformation out there about what the hospital has cost. And he was at pains to say that there was not a cost overrun, but a rescoping. And there's a difference between cost overrun and scoping. But whatever it is, we know that billions of dollars have been spent or allocated, or both, and still we have no hospital. At least nowhere, no beds are in this building behind it.
Emotional damage.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way. This situation, ladies and gentlemen, with this Cornwall Regional Hospital moving from a $2 billion estimate to $21 billion plus estimate over a 9-year period, still not yet finished refurbishing, not building, refurbishing after 9 years, still not fully operational. What can go so? Somebody tell me that this is not corruption, man.
So Where are we with all of this? A lot of PR, a lot of talk, a lot of confusion. What we know as people in Western Jamaica is that we do not have the Cornwall Regional Hospital. We have not had it for a number of years. The minister even went as far as to say if it wasn't for COVID, the hospital would be finished. Another excuse, another reason, another story being spun. But for us as citizens of this region, our concerns are still not being met. We are still without the facilities, and everybody we know in Montego Bay, in St. James, in the western part of Jamaica, all have a story of somebody who has had to come here and stay in a chair, wheelchair, or recliner for multiple days. We all have a story, whether it's a family member, a neighbor, or a friend, and we know what the reality on the ground is. The reality is not pretty. And I mean, just last night I was out there speaking to people who have had experience just talking about healthcare and lack of access to quality healthcare, reliable healthcare. That is the concern. At this time, I still want to give credit to the doctors, the nurses, all of the support staff who have worked under extreme and unfortunate circumstances still to deliver the best that they can deliver. We have to encourage them and thank them for their service. But the reality is that they have been put under this for many years, and a lot of money, billions of dollars have been spent. Billions of dollars still being spent, and still we have no completion. So, another PR move, and we, the PNP, believe that it should be people over PR, not PR over people. And right now we're seeing a lot of PRing going on right now, but it is what it is. It's what we've become used to by this government. And right now, when the PNP comes to power, we're going to make sure that much of what we see here is fully investigated, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
We initially started off discussing simple things.
That's where it got to be. We gotta do an investigation, bro. This is untenable. With all of the problems going on in Jamaica, right? This is one of the things that the Prime Minister takes the most pride in. Police force. Same police force that's, having these multiple incidents of 15-year-old old man. Do I have that video? Do I have that video ready of the old man?
Sir, how are you doing? I'm fine, sir. Fine.
How is everything in this area?
Everything, sir, I can say we are on track. For the first time in over 15 years, the division recorded a sub-70.
Really?
It's the deception for me. He knew this information before he went there to speak to this man. This is another PR moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is another PR moment. He cannot. If he took God off the cross and told me that he did not know, I would not believe the Prime Minister. This man is a pathologist. He lies without lying. Look at him, really? Yes.
Murders, yeah.
We know that you knew.
I thought you were aware.
No, look at the officer. Hey, the man named Skill. Oh, I thought you were aware.
That's fantastic. Has been a remarkable achievement for the Clarendon Division. So the first time in over 15 years, sub-70. So officially for this year, we have launched what we call Mission Sub-70. So that is our tagline, and it's what the tag that we put to it is it's not a number, it's about saving lives. So right now we are, since start of January, we have a 49% reduction in murders.
Excellent.
So our strategies that we have employed, they are continuous. So there's a follow-through from last year into this year. Our focus is on gang reduction because of that, and we're also pushing strongly our proactive component of policing, which is intelligence-driven.
Excellent.
And coupled with proximity policing.
Excellent. Clarendon was usually a parish that was plagued by gangs and internecine gang warfare. We're seeing now a significant reduction in gangs, but the fear now is that the domestic disputes will start to feature. Do you have any strategy in place to treat that?
So we have the We have the Domestic Violence Intervention Center that's in place.
Yes.
We work closely with our partner agencies. So, for example, the Ministry of Justice in terms of the restorative justice.
Yes.
Because that's a very significant component. So, talk it out,
yes.
Fight it out. And what we have done to our CSS, which is our Community Safety and Security component, or we call community policing.
Yes.
They're integral in terms of the community involvement and having that one-on-one. Also, to all of our police, since recently they went through a workshop.
Yes.
Focused specifically on domestic violence and conflict resolution skills. So,
yo, these guys know how to sell it, boy. Let me tell you something. See, Prime Minister is a chess player. He hears the criticism on social media. So here's an outline of all the things that people want to hear. I'm not saying that this area is not doing well, you know, but microcosm, while the macrocosm is very, very different. But it is what it is.
That's a part of building their soft skills to intervene and to deal more proactively with these kind of incidents.
I recall that there were several incidents in this parish having to do with disputes over land, family quarreling over land, and intimate partner violence, where spouses and other loved ones were killed because of intimate partner issues. These are critical areas that you will have to pay attention to. So the restorative justice is important.
Yes,
paying attention to the various domestic abuse issues that will arise. And then there's another element which is quite related to the event that I'm going to participate in now, which is predial larceny, which affects this parish in a significant way. Do you have any special plans?
There were special plans. So currently we have started our policing around that from the start of the year. So DSP Cardoza, he is giving charge to that. So what we have done, where the Farmers Watch groups were defunct, we have started to revitalize that. We have a team that is specifically geared towards predial larceny enforcement. So, and we'll be launching in the next couple of days a 30-day operation specifically geared around predial larceny prevention.
Listen, I'm so pleased with the work that you have done.
Thank you, sir.
Clarendon was always a parish that contributed significantly to the murder rate. We're happy to see that that is being reversed. The objective now is to make these reductions permanent and sustained. And I want to commend you and your officers for the work that you have done. And please know that you have the full support
very much
of the government.
Prime Minister.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, this guy is good. He is good. He really is good. He really is good. Congratulations to the officers. Here we have the Prime Minister. In style, helicopter. This is how he travels, guys. Meanwhile, poverty is not all that high. Look at him. Take a look at him. See you in Mobe in a bit. We just outlined hospital issues, real hospital issues. We just outlined abuse of children, 15 years. At the same police, not those same police, but you know what I mean. We just outlined a lack of food security. Right. Just blatant disregard for security. We just outlined political turmoil because of a lack of a political ombudsman, something that is very concerning because of the history of Jamaican politics, where a lot of people died, and that is is the reason why a political ombudsman was put in place, but they decided to take it out. I know we have issues where they're taking down people's posters all around. We have water issues with E. coli in the water, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's worsening with a sick out from the NWC workers. We have teachers that's been leaving Jamaica, continuing to leave Jamaica. Why? Because they cannot find a way to, to live a decent life, just a life that everybody would want to live. You know what I'm saying? Coupled with that, we still have problem with our roadways. Communities don't have bridges. People are marooned. We have corruption where items are allegedly being bought for significantly more money than it should be bought. Meanwhile, we don't have beds in the hospitals or other machinery that is vital. Jamaica is just going through a lot. This big accident you're seeing right here on the screen is because of the roads. A man's house. Look at this man's house. Look at it. That's his house. The accident tore away the man's side of his house. You can't imagine if a child was there. They're very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So, this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. And the police are not getting paid their overtime money. Let me know what you think about all these things, but the Prime Minister is rolling around in helicopter. Everything is fine. Everything is just great. Remember to hit the like and share. Right? You know what y'all think in the comment section, man? Lord have mercy. To the next. To the next one. I'm not wasting any time. Shout out to the people rocking out with me this late. You know what I'm saying? It's just work right now. I'm just putting that going. That's where we're at right now. Alright, so what's the time stuff? That's not it.
Of the sabotage for the elderly. Paying the Jamaicans to marry them.
And is given the right to vote.
This is undocumented. Yes, park out there for service in the 30 tomorrow. Your job. Pernell, mind the Chinese wellness. Look there.
No, this is very important. So, ladies and gentlemen, Andre Stevens and Bernard Charles. Well, not Andre Stevens and Bernard Charles. Andre Stevens and class prefect or head boy called it, and the previous conversation was about the Chinese. Well, both things, it's extremely relevant. But I want to start from here. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this, because we are in trouble. Remember to hit the like button, share the live. If you're not yet subscribed to the platform, I would encourage you to, because this is a great platform, man. Not tooting my own horn, but hey, I do put in that work. So let's hear this.
Here, Jamaica. Look there, Passport Immigration Authority. Pika, under the auspices of who? Hurry strong.
Lord of mercy.
How them get in here to be operating in the country? Performing commerce. Yeah, what if this one your name Spark? Yes, Sparks. Sparks.
What? Spark.
Courtney, if them unaccounted for and them they all over. So there's no documentation of them.
No.
Wrong thing, producer. There is no documentation of them.
No.
So that means, can you imagine what else in the country there's no documentation of? Right. So that means the government don't know how many of them are here.
No, there's another concern that when listening to Andre came to me. What a beautiful deal the Chinese have got. Most of the vehicles out here are Chinese made. The Chinese are responsible for making our roads. Our roads are in a terrible condition, and here comes the Chinese with a fix for vehicles. They will have business. They won't have any issue with business. What they're doing is, they are benefiting from their automotive technology and all of that, while destroying the Jamaican mechanics are going to be out of business, and the roads that they are responsible for building spark. Well, it's not sparking now, is it? They're gonna be making a ton of money off the bad roads that are already here. Customers are going to be just, this is the best deal. And you hear Andre talking about them not paying tax. How much you wanna bet that that's true? How much you wanna bet that they really aren't paying tax and they don't even have permits? How much you wanna bet that they don't really have a background check on any of these individuals? I didn't even want to go in, but it's just questions that I have. Isn't that a sweet deal? They make the cars, they ship them here, they already made the money off that. Then they come, set up shop here, have businesses that are here to fix the cars. Because the Jamaican people are incompetent and they are not good mechanics and they don't have nothing. We are not protected. Our jobs are not protected. Every day under this government, I just want to go and live somewhere else. Honestly. I cannot wait for them to call the election. They have to be ushered out. Honestly. And Mark G, General, yo, man, tell them, open and listen to we the people. Right? Because when you're going up power, we have to go fix things expeditiously.
The government don't know how many of them are here. I tell you, say the next time Anna Ruby are coming.
You better know.
Me tell you, Jamaica, the next time Anna Ruby are come. In China, no country can set up business like that. You have to partner with a Chinese to set up a business in China.
That's protecting the citizens.
But in Jamaica, look, this is undocumented immigration, This is undocumented immigration. So that means the government of Jamaica don't know how many Chinese natives are in your country. You think is the Secretary of State coming? You think is the Secretary of State coming? The Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, man. He might go come next.
Good night to you and your listeners. I'm sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the program, but this is the Horace Channel and Pernell Child. Tell them to stop playing with the Jamaican public as if they don't know what is happening. Let me tell you what is happening. There's a 27-story development that is being done in Montego Bay. Yes? Called a particular name.
The Pinnacle. The Pinnacle. Call it the Pinnacle.
Ooh. By the way, do you know that name should be protected because Pinnacle is where the origination of Rastafari come from?
Yes.
So they should not have that name. The Rastafarian community should be taking them to court. The owner of it, one of the developers in the group, Ying Sing, who was the vice chair for the Chamber of Commerce in Montego Bay. You ever say?
Yes.
The man can't even speak English, good enough. When the project started, at the breaking ceremony, there was Edmund Bartlett,
yes,
and Horace Chang,
and Andrew Holness.
I did my research. Do you know that this guy is in charge of all the Chinese in the West? And do you know that they all are supporting the Jamaica Labour Party?
Not surprised.
And let me go further and say that they have started even reaching out to some PNP people because they sense that the government is going to change, hoping that the PNP will be favorable to them.
Marky G. Where PJ did say a black man time now, Marky G. PNP will not do not. And I repeat, do not make any deals with the Chinese. Alright? Don't make no deal with them. Let's continue.
In bed with them.
A lot of the Chinese you see operating from in the West, they're under the control, it is alleged, of Horace Chang. And that is why he has not moved from national security. So his role is to give them the approvals to come in.
So can you imagine, we don't know the history of these people. We don't know if them even they're prisoners coming in the country.
But this is the problem I have, because the Ministry of National Security, by the way, none of us can read a Chinese police record. When you come to apply for a work permit from any country, if you're going to Barbados, if you're going to Antigua, Cayman, you need to present a police record. I can tell you something. In most of the instances, none of these Chinese persons who are applying for work permits are presenting any police record to the Ministry of Labour. You hear what I said?
Yes.
None. They're not presenting none. And what Lyad Pernell Charles Jr. must stop though is stop trying to obfuscate and play games, because Monday the envelope is going to be sent to the Ministry of Labour to a particular individual who works in the work permits department who only deals with Chinese. That's why the worker would have called out saying give the person the money, but he not get it all now.
Oh,
there's a serious thing happening at the Ministry of Labour, that nobody is paying attention to. Yeah?
Yes.
Work permits are being approved without it doesn't go on the minister's desk to be approved.
Wow.
Yeah? Or the department that deals with it. The next thing, which is nasty, at the same Ministry of Labour, there's a bedrock of corruption down there, right? Because if the work permit is happening at the same time, while at the same time building stamp, yeah, it's being approved. So let me tell you, let me not say nothing more. The Auditor General's report on that Ministry of Labour and Social Security is going to be damning. And Pernell, you said it come to Jamaica because you want to serve and you work in New York. Ask the question, teacher, why is so much building stamp going on Easter and St. Thomas?
Repeat that?
And why so much building stamp is being approved in Easter and St. Thomas for houses that have never been damaged by hurricane. But the people of North and Southwest St. Elizabeth can't get no help.
Help. We hear the
We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need this. We need it. Help. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator.
Colonel Charles Jr. needs to come answer to these allegations. These are extremely serious allegations.
From Berry. Yeah?
My God!
If you check it, go and check the Ministry of Labour. We have the most building stamps been approved. In Eastern St. Thomas, the sister of the sitting Minister of Labour and Social Security. What do you think Pernell said him on the Labour and Social Security? You think so because of a nice ministry? You think so because they want to be is the ministry the most thieving going on in Jamaica?
My gosh.
And the biggest hustling. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I am saying, where is Waiver Lines? Waiver Lines is the opposition spokesperson and Labour. Should be out on this already, because the Chinese, what they're doing at the Ministry of Labour and teacher is a feeding tree. Mark me word, is a feeding tree. And it's a feeding tree for the Charles family because they believe they own that ministry.
My God.
You realize it's the only ministry Pernell Charles Jr. second long, you know?
Everywhere I'm going feeling night.
And they send him there because the daddy is guiding him. Since you have become minister, the only time you hear so much farm work card I sell, you know. I mean, I say nothing more.
Where you say I sell?
Farm work card.
Farm work card I sell.
Allegedly.
So I am pointing out to these things. So Colonel Charles is in, I'm just trying to make the point. Colonel is in no way, shape, or form to come and address nothing going to work for me. They know that Horace Chang has been using his influence as many. And by the way, a lot of these Chinese are married to Jamaicans. You know what that means, eh? Some of them depend on the voters list.
What you say?
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help.
No way, shape, or form to come and address nothing going to work for me. They know that Horace Chang has been using his influence as many. And by the way, a lot of these Chinese are married to Jamaicans. You know what that means, eh? Some of them depend on the voters list.
What you say?
By virtue of marriage to a Jamaican, a Chinese after 2 to 3 years can acquire citizenship and is given the right to vote.
Lord Jesus.
Oh, we can do that. Oh, we can do that.
So when you hear Andrew Williams and him friend them say third term loading, yeah, particularly in the West, because I don't know about Kingston and St. Andrew very well where the Chinese are concerned. I know about the West. So constituencies like Southern St. James, East Central St. James, yeah, a lot of these seats in St. James have Chinese, an influx of Chinese, and particularly this development Pinnacle, yeah.
So about how much people them have? How many Chinese you think them have a developed Pinnacle?
Teacher, based upon my information, right? Pinnacle has over 200 workers over there. Yeah?
200?
Over 200 workers. And remember, this is not their only development. Yeah? By the way, the same owners of Pinnacle, they control all the distribution chain from Montego Bay to Mandeville.
Really? So them powerful?
That is what I'm telling you. Every single Chinese they sell, if they not get approval from the man in Pinnacle, then get nothing. Then can't sell. And his position is further strengthened because he's a financier of the Labour Party in the West.
What you saying name?
Ying Sang Lee.
Ning Sang Lee.
Ying Sang Lee. Look it out. LCH Development. I'm going to send you the website right
Ying Sang Lee.
LCH Development. If you type in Pinnacle, you will see it. Right? And by the way, these Chinese, and I'm not accusing them of it, but it is a known fact that the biggest money launderers in Jamaica are the Chinese.
What?
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Hey! So the money not got through the system.
Go through what?
Somebody called me today and said him know somebody where operate one rat.
People don't hear that. You know, it's an allegation, but when you think about it, is it possible? Why are we in trouble, boy?
Hey! So the money not got through the system.
Them of it, but it is a known fact that the biggest money launderers in Jamaica are the Chinese.
What?
They don't bank their money, sir.
Hey! So the money not got through this.
You know, I've always wondered why the Chinese stores them always have the best rate them for US dollars. Have you guys ever noticed that? Better than the Cambia. They really want those US dollars. I wonder why. I'm just making an observation, you know.
System.
Go through what?
Somebody called me today and said him know somebody where operate one rat it Cambia they quote me. And nobody know about the Cambia them way and the Cambia operate.
Yeah. Because what they're looking for, you know, they're looking to purchase the USD, and once they have that USD, it moves in droves. Yeah. So a lot of the time, a shipping container come, a shipping container go. Money comes in material form, but the raw cash is sent out. Yeah. There was a split between these Chinese, right? I know in depth, and I now go too deep tonight, teacher.
No, go there. You have 5 minutes.
Right. They were warring. And one of the Chinese told me, I met with him, and he said to me, stay far from these guys. I said, why are you saying that? The man said, Virgin, let me tell you something. It's straight money laundering. These guys are involved. Don't even exclude the fact that some of these Chinese are involved in the drug trade.
Drug trade?
To me. I said, what is it? Him say, hold on. And this is a Chinese telling me this, you know. Yeah?
Hey.
Him saying that the reason why he knows for a fact, they were the Chinese that he's telling me about, him and that person, a business partner. And him say that he knows for sure that they're involved in money laundering and they're involved in the drug trade. Because look what, in order to wash the money, yeah, they have to do developments.
Oh, the real estate.
Fentanyl. Do you realize why America is sanctioning China right now? Because the implements for the fentanyl, everything to produce the fentanyl is coming from China.
Really?
So we think it's controlling the fentanyl trade. You think it's the Mexicans? No, sir. Go and check it. It's the Chinese.
That's why they want.
Ball out! Whoa, we need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman. If a politician, if a liar, come from the doctor, come from Simon, anywhere he come from, reverse the order, reverse the order. Break shores, we're coming through, we're coming through. Reverse the curve, turn back the order. Reverse the curve, send back the order. Where he come from, anywhere he come from. If a Jamaica, if a Clarendon, if a St. Thomas he come from. Saint Mary, send it back, send it back. We don't want to hear ya. Come out of Jamaica.
We don't want it in here. Come out of Jamaica and send that back. Believe.
China.
Really?
So you think it's controlling the fentanyl trade? You think it's the Mexicans? No, sir. Go and check it. It's the Chinese.
That's why they want to control the war.
Once you have access to port, you have access to where goods go. And one of the strategic point of exit for Jamaica is that Jamaica has access to the Panama Canal. Once you have access to the Panama Canal, you know where you're ending? Europe. Just imagine the value of 1 kilo of that white lady in the US. It's maybe about 600, 700,000. You know when it reach Netherlands, how much it value?
No, tell me.
1.5 to 2 million.
My God.
So don't think that these Chinese are, and let me tell you, I don't have nothing against China, but a lot of them in Jamaica, I'm bridging them, But the truth be told, we need to weed out the bad actors, and the JLP has hung up a lot of these persons that are of questionable character. Do you know you have prisoners working in Jamaica?
Prisoners? Where them working?
Prisoners.
The China Harbour Engineering Company must come tell us how it is that they negotiated with the JLP in their last negotiation for the highway that they did, right? A lot of their negotiation was 60-40. They said 60% of the workers must be theirs. What? And a lot of the workers were working on the sites doing basic labor. You hear me say basic labor, duties that basic labor could do. Yeah? Like steel, run black. Yeah? Yes. This was the work they were doing. Wow. So we know for a fact that a lot of these Chinese, a lot of them are prisoners from China Harbour Engineering Company, and there have been documentary to show that some of them are prisoners because none of them have been able to present. And I asked the Ministry of Labour if they think I'm lying. Come show us one worker from China Harbour Engineering Company that has presented to your police record. One. What can go on?
This is serious, you know.
forced labor. We are on. That is why Jamaica. There was so much effort from the United Nations with the Jamaica in dealing with this forced labor issue, because they realize that the Chinese is using the opportunity.
Yes.
You know, a lot of using the opportunity that they have in Jamaica to bring about this thing. Because when you take up a man from China, you don't know nothing about him. You put him to work, right? And in most instances, what they're doing, they're encouraging the marriages, teacher. That is one of the things that people have to
understand. The marriages. But I hear them paying the Jamaicans to marry them.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to get to. It's pay the pain. So they get the citizenship after a while and then branch off into what they want to do. But I'm not going to stay along with you because I don't want to take up the program. But all I have to say is, you, Chang, you. That's how long is a Chinese man? Father, how long?
But I want to give you another perspective. Chinese men don't need permit to work on Chinese land. Don't it? Chinese men don't need permit to work on Chinese land.
What can go so?
Emotional damage.
Chinese men don't need permit to work on Chinese land. Huh? Play that back.
What do I mean by that? You remember the 1,200 acres of land where Oldness give to the Chinese them in Miami Bay? If the land is given to the Chinese Courtney, technically it's for them land. So they don't need Jamaican to work on it. Am I telling a lie or am I telling a truth? So what the Chinese do is an asset trap.
Yes.
It's an asset trap, you know, because technically what them tell us, right, so I mine China hardware engineering of mine. So seeing that me have them piece of something in my people have to work here.
You know what I want to tell the People's National Party when it comes to government? But I know there are some people in the PNP who are listening to me now who are shaking in their boots because they're not certain if I will call their names.
We all know them were under Chinese influence in the PNP.
Right.
And Mark Golding don't give them that power and leverage when it turn minister.
All I can say to the People's National Party is it is time to come now to deal with this trap that the Chinese have put us in. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
In Antigua and Barbuda, when Lester Bird, as I go, became Prime Minister, he had done an investment with the Americans and they were cussing that all them want about this and them want about that. Lester Bird said, well, when they don't put on the airport,
there's another thing, wait. There's another thing, Jamaica, listen to this, you know, because it's very interesting. Another thing we must consider that if they are not prisoners, they are military.
Absolutely, and that is what worries Washington.
Repeat that.
Oh, lady. You see that? Jamaica, I want serious conversation. Andrea Edward, I was saying, you know, man said, if they are not.
That is what
I think we must consider that if they are not prisoners, they are military.
Absolutely, and that is what worries Washington.
Repeat that.
That is what worries Washington, because what Washington has pointed out. Do you know that a part of the discussion that Andrew Holness is not saying to the country in Rubio's visit, because we're on it. Do you know between Angels to Miami Bay and Senton, it is alleged by the Americans that under the road there are cable surveillance systems that were put under the road? Meaning cables that can connect back the Chinese to Jamaica, meaning them can communicate. Yeah?
What you say?
Communicate.
Cable?
Meaning the cables.
Wow.
They run underground connection.
Cables?
One of the discussion I heard from a prominent person, and the person have no reason to lie to me. He said one of the things is that the Americans want the road dig up.
Oh, they want the road dig. I hear that argument, you know. Say Rubio want that highway dig up, you know. I didn't even hear say Trump say want to get it for himself.
My God.
They will repave the road.
So when they dig up the road and I put in, when them put in them something there.
Remember that the Americans have good technology. They have a sense that there is spyware that has been placed under the road. Remember why Ukraine and Russia is warring, you know? Because of an encroachment on the Ukraine-Russia border.
Yes.
It's the same thing happening now. the Cold War in Cuba started because what? Missiles were brought to Cuba. Yeah? Jamaica is being used as a launching pad for a Chinese attack on the United States.
Mighty God! So, what you say? Jamaica
is being used as a launching pad for an attack on the United States. And not that I support the United States, because everybody knows me that pro-Venezuelan Cuban socialist.
Hey!
What you cannot have in your backyard is an enemy of your closest neighbor and ally that you also have relatives living in, getting that level of influence. Because don't make no mistake, where you think Xi Jinping can talk so rough now to Trump? Because within Trump's backyard, he controls all of the leaders.
So wait. So them tanker, the 12 tanker. Who for the 12 tanker with their Jamaica? Are the government of Jamaica or the government of China? Who? Talk to me.
Well, I am not certain about the tanker. You know, one thing with me, teacher, if I'm not certain about something, I'm not afraid to say it. But my best judgment would be that those are Chinese assets. Because let me tell you why. Remember, one of the things that they did, that Jamaica started doing, was also partnering with the Chinese for equipment for the army.
Yes.
That has never happened in our history. Our traditional partners were Canada, the UK, and the USA.
Yes.
Yeah?
And them start take equipment from China.
No, the Foreign Affairs Ministry building, I don't want to get on it because I know the contractor who built it, and he's a good guy. It's a guy who lived in Jamaica, been in Jamaica for a long time, but I would never send an email through that building to anybody. You hear me say? Not even an email. Yeah? Do you understand what the Chinese got? The Chinese that are now operating in Jamaica got a direct order from Beijing. Expand westward. And that is what they're doing.
Expand westward.
They're expanding westward. And they're not going to stop this expansion until we decide that enough is enough. Uno build the road. Uno say uno want toll, we not pay.
Wait, I am getting an intelligence. Surveillance and listening devices are embedded in the road infrastructure. Discuss here, Courtney.
But I tell you, and I got my intelligence. I'm a person who knows.
Mighty God!
But you see, too, teacher, we have to be balanced in our discussion. Because I blame the United States of America, our closest neighbor. Because for years, they have not done any investment in the Caribbean. You have some good companies in Washington, in Atlanta, and all over the place that do construction, heavy equipment companies, that could have come and partnered with us and do some of the roads. Is now that them back against the wall, them coming to say, let's negotiate and let's do some other things. But the Chinese were already creeping in long time. So they should have come with their purse to say, let the biggest spender win. Yeah? But all I can say...
But you realize that all of this has really morphed and catapulted in the last 9 years though, you know.
No, because, and let's make no mistake about it. Who do you think brought the Chinese to Jamaica?
You tell us.
You want us to go back there? You remember them big stone of them talk about going out to Palisados? That was the first project China Harbour Engineering Company did in Jamaica with a company called YPC and Associates.
Oh, YPC, Lord Labor Right.
At the time, let me go. Mike Henry. And Mike, me not lick you, because you know I'm a friend. I'm not afraid to say something.
You know Bangaran soon start with him.
Mike was the Minister of Transport. Remember there was a visit in China by Mike?
Yes, when he was Transport Minister 2016.
I remember we had a road program named
JDIP. That was the most scandalous and most corrupt road infrastructure program. JDIP.
That was weird. That was how China Harbour Engineering came to Jamaica against the backdrop of corruption.
JDIP. Yeah. I remember the container with the furniture there. You remember the furniture there?
James Robertson and Mike Henry had fallen for that. Because they remember once the minister want good furniture in the office and once the minister can't live in a squalor.
Oh yes. And the time the $60 million house, I remember it, man.
Yeah, that's about your house for them take from him.
My God.
So I am reminding Jamaicans that it is the JLP who brought. So these Chinese that operating in Jamaica are mostly JLP associated Chinese. Because their introduction to Jamaica came from the JLP. Yeah? So the Chinese that Portia met when she went to meet with Xi Jinping in China.
Yeah.
Right? The JLP had already solidified relationship with some of these Chinese. The same Chinese West Yaga used to cuss in the 70s and 80s, eh?
Yes.
But teacher,
thank you for that insightful conversation with me. Jamaica,
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus! Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them.
People, that is a lot to digest. I have so many questions based off those allegations, but I'm gonna leave you guys to storm up the comment section. I really want to hear what you think about this conversation between Andre and Headboy. This one is a little different. Jamaica is supposed to be a launching pad for a war between China and America, allegedly. Underground wires, taps for communication, lands allocation, historical corruption, prisoners, gangs, money laundering, drugs, allegedly. Ooh, this is a lot, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Oh, have mercy. And remember to hit that like button. I had to put this one together. Sheesh. Shout out to Andre Stevens. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to Partner Job TV News Jamaica. Great talk. Wow. On to the next one, baby. On to the next one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your brother Bolo VNR. Please remember to hit the like button. Who is Audrey? Who is Audrey? Who is this lady? Audrey. Actually, she's the General Secretary. Who is Audrey? This lady, Audrey Sewell. Who is she? Man, I don't know what she did, but man, the Titans are on her ass. Alright? Namely, Byron. So we're gonna go and hear what Byron has to say about Audrey Sewell. He pretty much told her life story, her father's history, a whole bunch of stuff. Like, very interesting. I had to document this. I'm like, who is Audrey? Who is this lady? Listen to this.
Can you imagine that? Yes, panelists.
Well,
Can you imagine this?
Lonesome, give me a liquor for him first.
Yeah, man.
I want a liquor for him. And we are going to bring up, the truth to bear. And I'm glad how that young lady came out and, highlight the PR government.
Yes.
It's sad though. It's sad that when the people of Jamaica who elected a government to represent them on their behalf, and this government decided to PR the way out. This government decided to take 200 and 300% raise. Now, this government that skillfully use a permanent secretary and circulate that permanent secretary through various ministries, and now have that permanent secretary appointed to cabinet secretary. I am talking about Audrey Sewell.
Do you really want to stick with the same old insurer? Taxis, minibuses, coasters.
Your association and marathon.
Let us ask ourselves this question and try to understand that the way how we know it is that people naturally will be promoted as a result of their performance. And we're talking about excellent performance. And people, propel through the ranks. That is the way how it ought to go. right? I'm asking Jamaica this question. Every single ministry that Audrey Sewell had gone through, that ministry had lost billions, and let me put it their way, billions of dollars unaccounted for. Billions of dollars unaccounted for. We are going to talk the truth now, people. We are going to talk the truth. And so then, Audrey Sewell in her position, being, and you know the reason why I am doing this? Because I want the Integrity Commission to now lock their focus on Audrey Sewell. Yes, lock their focus on Audrey Sewell. So
emotional damage.
Here you have a prime minister who is crooked, a prime minister who is a criminal, decided as it relates to the investigation timeline, as it relates to the Integrity Commissioner investigators, between 2007 to 2009, this is where Andrew Holness had done. 2007 happened. The investigation timeline, as it relates to the Integrity Commissioner investigators, between 2007 to 2009, this is where Andrew Holness had done. Some bull. Yes, my Jamaican people. Audrey Sewell would have been responsible, right, for all accounting mechanism. Account payables, account receivables, and all of that. Audrey Sewell would be the chief protector for the procurement guidelines. But here, under Audrey Sewell, Gavin was put up as that. What happened is that they have problems in terms of the appropriation account not being submitted. Now, people, is that what really and the permanent secretary stated? Come on, my people. An appropriation account that's supposed to be submitted annually. When I said annually, I mean annually, on a yearly basis. Then how, if the appropriation account is supposed to be submitted annually on a yearly basis, then under Andrew Holness 9 years, the appropriation account have not been submitted for various ministries. How do you So let me ask the Jamaica Labour Party, do you know that that is the culture? That is the foundation where Audrey Sewell existed. So then what are you doing about it? You know now, because we have it on social media, that's the foundation where she sprung from. And what we see in the Jamaica Labour Party right now, many projects, cost overrun. Cost overrun. Let me tell you something, Tough Tom. You need to be investigated, and you need, based on the judiciary, I agree that our jurisprudence, right, is good enough, right, to deal with the situation accordingly. But I am asking the Integrity Commission to press on and continue their solid work, because I know that the Jamaican people are going to get justice. Christopher Tufton, the Jamaican people, they are going to get their justice. Just imagine, billions of dollars. A project that started over $2 billion for $2 billion has now propelled to what we call looking at roughly about $23 to $27 billion and cannot finish. And no appropriation account can speak towards that. No appropriation account. And this is how you angle taxpayers' money. And you are now asking the taxpayers to give you a third term. You sick out of your head.
Embarrassing.
Anybody here in the Jamaica Labour Party would agree that you figure that third term. You sick. People who sick, they're crazy.
was using my phone for a little bit until I figured stuff out. So now I realize something. I have to make sure that Wi-Fi is plugged into my surgery, because any shift in voltages, current or whatever, can jeopardize the signal. So that's what happened. See, I told y'all I'm testing my new system. I told y'all that keeping it a stack. But we got more to deal with. I got one more thing to deal with right here. Let's get it. Let me go to this part. Go to this part right here.
And buy business, the man. And buy election and buy everything. Go check and about that. Not my calling. Yes.
We are dealing with him tonight.
Yes.
Because him Mark Golden, businessman.
True.
Let me tell you something. Me.
1 second. I'm just.
So then we have 2/3 majority in the low house. 2/3 party, the majority win. And you know the reason why I am speaking this tonight? For persons who don't understand the depth of the politics, let me explain it to you. If we have the general election come and PNP only get a marginal win, what the Jamaica Labour Party will be doing is to play what we call stalemate politics. It simply means many policy positions that required votes, these policies have to be voted on. And majority then kill them politics before them going out. And when you have that, because that Andrew Wallace had done on my trade, trust me, me afraid. I am one of the, and look here, me not two no one on, you know. If you have me, I search to, you know, me lift up, you know, who's a certified investigator. Find something for Mark Gold.
Mark Gold, and we too, you know, because
for no reason.
Actually,
So, right here, so ladies and gentlemen, Mark Golden, Marky G, right? Not Mark Golden, Mr. In this one right now, Mystic Sensation Byron for the Titans, ladies and gentlemen, reveal some things about Mark Golden and also himself. Yeah, this right here had to be recorded. Check this out. Remember to hit that like button, share the live. Don't keep it to yourself. Hear what Byron has to say. Apparently, Byron has done his digging on Mark Golden. Yo, this man don't play. Everybody being investigated. As long as he got an interest in them, you know what I'm saying, to figure out what's going on with them. Check this out.
Brother, you see Mark Golden, and we too, you know, because through we in them way.
Alright, let me tell you something.
Yes.
And a little dig, the GLP dig, to find something for Mark Golden.
True.
Let me tell you something. Me, right, who's a certified investigator, right? Me do hard search to, you know. Me do hard search to, you know. Me lift up all the stone and turn them over, you know. And let me tell you something, we can't tell anybody this.
Wanna hear that?
I am one of the investigators that you don't want on your trail. Trust me. If me have me on my trail, trust me, me afraid. I am one of the, and look here, me not two no one on, you know. If people who go on LinkedIn, they will see how, you understand, big corporate directors, right, speak about me as it relates to certain matrix and certain audits. Right? So we are tested and proved and certified and qualified. So then, when me, the tell Jamaica, say me I defend Mark Golding, I am defending Mark Golding out of honesty and integrity, checks and balance, guarantee, not asking that, guarantee. Now let me show you something, people. Let me show you something. Mark Golding came up as an established businessman. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to help Jamaica decide tonight. Of all the businesses that Mark Golding, leadership, quality, policies that govern Mark Golding businesses, you can do the research yourself, people. Has Mark Golding ever failed in his business?
No.
I am asking a question. Of all Mark Golding businesses, has Mark Golding at any one time has ever failed? No. Mark Golding academic skills in terms of honors. We not talk about people go buy PhD, no Mark Golding no buy PhD. So we could get that clear, no Mark Golding no buy doctorate and force institution to give them doctorate in a Mark Golding.
Byron. No. Byron, go check on about them buy business, man. Buy and buy election and buy everything. Go check on about that. Not Mark Golding. Yes.
We are dealing with him tonight.
Yes.
Because him shouldn't have put himself in a Mark Golding shoes. So we are disciplining him tonight. So then, everything that Mark Golding speak, and you check it, solid proof. Facts. Let me tell you this, Jamaica. The only time Andrew Holness is speaking truth.
Ever wonder why the crest covers your heart?
The only time Andrew Holness is speaking truth is when Andrew Holness keep his mouth shut. From the moment he open it alive. That's a fact. From the moment he open his mouth and speak, it's a lie coming out of that.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
One him live in a 1-bedroom house. Another champion him live in a 2-bedroom house. And it don't stop here. And all of a sudden, him a walk, and a little boy see him and said, he look like he's going to be the Prime Minister.
He lied. Answer that, man. No, him a laugh, you know, you're in the Byron. Boy, Titans will know we stay. We come study. We have eagle fly around there, man.
Exactly.
We have eagle fly around you. We have this in your office. And you know, we not the tabloid.
All right.
In your office. And we have this all about in enough of them office and all over the place. I follow them now, yeah?
Yeah, but let me So we are investigating Mark Golding from what we kill Philip and can't find nothing about Mark Golding. And when me start for Andrew Holness, the first page, me lift up, me have problem. The first page, people, me lift up. Me have problem. The first page when we roll over, so boom. And what was the first page? Before Andrew Holness venture as Prime Minister, Andrew Holness went right and tell one of the most vicious lies, right, in a political campaign. The first one we lift up is when he had the campaign and said him live in a 1-bedroom, him go in a 1-bedroom and this and that, and then we hear him from another campaign, 2-bedroom, that and that, and we say, all right, might be a mistake.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Okay, all right, but we forgive him.
Forgive him.
You know, stop saying to people.
Mistake, you know, that me, you know. Can we can't forgive that you tell life of your great granny, you know, I respect the elders.
You
The man
understand?
said great granny.
People.
Yes.
You tell life on God. You tell life on God, so that's something.
Then what you know?
Not to give him for that.
Yeah, who what you know? Him try to justify the little corruption money we make as it relates to Gavin, you know, awarding the contracts to Gavin, you know. He went on Big Mama station and told a lie that he came in with $47 million in the politics. I'm say, all right, okay, all right. Him say him coming he came in the politics with 47 million. Let me check. So people, I went and checked. And then of course, when me check, me realize, say, okay, all right. Andrew Holness left university 1994. Spent 2 years, right? As it relates to charity.
Charity, you know.
Charity, you know. And I realized that I realized that when he left university, he owed student loan.
Yes.
He owed student loan people. So I say, all right, now make that further. Now make that try to ease in my brain.
Yes.
Okay. Him left university, right? Owing student loan. And then he spent 2 years, right, as charity. And then in 1997, him venture into politics. So then me ask myself the question.
Yeah, me remember that one.
Yeah, me ask myself the question. Hold on there. Then, at the 47 million, never come, hold on. Me talk to my brethren, Melton Potter. Me talk to my brethren, Pastor. I will say, then at the charity, I wish charity give Andrew Holness $47 million. How Andrew get $47 million from charity? You don't understand that. Then we start to dig deeper and say then, then if Andrew Holness take 2 years to make $47 million, then why Andrew Holness are coming out of politics? Which part he only go get about $5 or $6 million a year? Make it make sense, people.
23.
Why would Andrew Holness getting $23 million? $23.5 million per year.
No, Byron, no move yet, man. Byron, please.
You know, so I never think about that. I never think about that, you know. You make so much money per year. Why would I come in on one job where I pay you like less than a quarter? That's crazy.
It's not move yet, man. Remember, say my wife don't give me again, you know, in 1997, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to touch you, say, yeah. I talk about why would Andrew Holness make a choice after he's making $23.5 million on a yearly basis, right? Why would he leave that and go into politics but only pay him $5 to $6 million? Make it make sense for people. Make it make sense. Why would he do that? You understand what I'm saying? That he's going to left such large profit turnover and go and take up politics. Is that going to make sense? And then here it is that his wife came.
And the student loan newspaper that, yo, the Titans them not play a B. Yo, the man them have the newspaper clippings.
And said, okay, they married in 1997. And trust me,
Andrew
they didn't have
Andrew Holness couldn't pay him student loan. Remember, so them put out them thing in the newspaper, you know, for shame people, you know, when I pay their students loan, you know, out there. Wow. Man, them have the newspaper clippings, Jack.
have no money, referring to she and Andrew Holness, and said they have to put on a fish fry. People, make it make sense now.
See the one you're doing now, he never paid.
People who really want me to go dig up the video, you want me to go play the video where Juliet only said that out there one more. We really need to do that. I don't think we need to do that. We played it many times on the program. Let's continue.
And see the one there, see the evidence there. See Andrew Michael Holness.
See that's
for social science.
Yeah, see that's social science. See that?
Right, you think.
Yes.
Right? Now, look at that. Right? Owed student loan. Now, I can put that away that way. Let me ask a question. The question I want to ask. Question that I want to ask. So here is Andrew Holness as our Prime Minister. Because he loves so bad minding. Bad mind. Now here is Andrew Holness as our Prime Minister, who ventured into the politics as a seasoned politician. Between then and now, he's a seasoned politician. Simple means he didn't have any business. No business, Andrew Holness out. Mark Golding, before Andrew ventured into the politics, Mark Golding has business. Let me pluralize it. Mark Golding has businesses. Yes. Let us bring forward today. That Andrew Holness, who doesn't have no business, and remember all the companies that listed under Andrew Holness' name, they are not legitimate business, they are shell companies.
Very far away because they would not be able to come.
You need to bear that in mind, that all these companies, they are shell companies that set up, most of them set up by Patrick Bailey.
Honey, it's Monday. Are you ready?
Yep. Perfect timing. I'll just show you the clip real quick, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? It's the Observer. Juliet Holness talk about getting married. Listen.
22nd, and we chose the Sunday in between our birthdays. We could not afford a lot, so we didn't have a wedding planner, and we could not afford a big hotel. I remember we rented Villa Renai at the time, and we had a regular chef that you would normally have in your community come and cook up the curry goat and the rice and peas at Villa Renai, and we were married. Everybody came, like we invited all the relatives that we knew lived very far away because they would not be able to come to the wedding. They live in the UK, they live in America and Canada, but we didn't want anybody to say that we'd never invite them. So after trying to keep the wedding to 50, and my parents started to tell me who and who not invited, and his parents started to say who and who not invited, we said, all right, here's the strategy. Send all of them invitation because they're not coming. We ended up, instead of having a wedding of 50, with a wedding of 250 people, because everybody turned up from all over and our mouth was just dropping. My father didn't think it funny. I told him that we should have actually ran it like a fish fry, where we give them an invitation at a cost, and you pay to come to the wedding.
Embarrassing! We need some milk!
My father didn't think it funny. I told him that we should have actually ran it like a fish fry, where we give them an invitation at a cost, and you pay to come to the wedding.
Embarrassing! We need some milk!
What can go so?
Emotional damage!
What did you say?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
People, the company still lie. You hear from the horse's mouth, so when you hear people ask questions about these people, well, down where you come from, them have good reason. Believe.
10-minute chair workout designed just for you.
So Andrew Holness have no businesses. Now, if you to put up Mark Golding statutory declaration for 2020 and Andrew Holness statutory declaration for 2020 and show both of them, Andrew Holness have more money than Mark Golding, who is a legitimate businessman. Jamaica. That makes sense.
Put in the top liar, no, Andrew, no, nothing, you know. Andrew does to the social science.
Yes.
Top liar. One of the top liar, them, you know.
Exactly.
And yes, and businessman.
So then,
I know Andrew around 10 times.
Yes.
Golden one.
Andrew Holness is not a millionaire. Andrew Holness is a billionaire.
Oligarchs.
Multi-billionaire.
Multi-billionaire.
Shell company.
You tell me, Jamaica, there shouldn't be no farmer hitch to know that this man is a criminal. Senator paying his way to the Integrity Commission.
Embarrassing!
Criminal. And we must stand aside and make him get away with it. He's not going to get away with it, Jamaica. Me, I promise you this. Now we'll get right. And I yield back.
Something not right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right. Tell about them.
Man, Byron, boy, you make a compelling argument, sir. And when you look at the facts, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Ooh, boy, it's rough. Rough crowd. Hey man, I gotta get up out of here. That's what I came on here to do, and I'm done. These videos, I gotta post these in the morning. Gotta post these in the morning. So appreciate y'all for pulling up on your boy. Y'all have a good morning. And see y'all later, man. See you later, alligator. What did I see in the comments? I saw Hassan, Ryan Campbell, and Jeanette. Salute to y'all.